Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Module 4 of EDU 605, Testing and Assessment. Anita Stewart McCafferty here from Ed Leadership at USM, and I want to welcome you to this week's module where we're going to focus around the idea of sound design for extended written response. We're also going to do some work around concept mapping and visual literacy, and also start to think more deeply about the place that rubrics might play when we're thinking about extended written response, and then next week when we look at performance and product assessment, and then when we start to delve into personal communication. So for this week, our guiding questions will be, what is the value of extended written response assessments, such as short answer and essays, as well as longer written products? And what kinds of achievement targets are a good match for extended written response approaches? How can teachers turn knowledge and some reasoning achievement targets into accurate and useful assessment? How might a teacher use concept mapping and other visual tools such as sketching, graphic organizers, and mind mapping to help students better understand the standards or the success criteria being assessed? And how might a teacher have students use concept mapping and other visual tools to help them be able to show what they know about a particular concept or skill? For this module, we'll focus on 4 different learning targets or learning objectives. One is that students will be able to identify the general characteristics of high-quality written response tasks and scoring guides. That students will also be able to audit and revise or create written response tasks and scoring guides for future use. The third learning target for this module is that students will be able to use information from written response assessments diagnostically to plan further instruction. And the fourth module objective is that students will be able to use concept mapping and other visual tools in their classrooms to make learning intentions clear to students, to help them learn and plan their writing or other learning tasks, and to assess what students know. So during this module, you will be invited to, of course, engage in some reading. Chapter 6 of the Chapuis and Stiggins book is on extended written response, and so that will be a key staple for this module. You will also be asked to read chapter 5, which of the Teaching Strategies book, and that chapter goes into concept mapping, mind mapping, visual literacy, other visual representation tools. There are also a few materials that you'll be reading and viewing around concept mapping, and then also types of rubrics. I included a slideshow presentation assessing for and of learning with rubrics that you may find helpful to help you kind of sort out the different types and purposes of rubrics. For this week, your assignment will be to complete learning activities 6.4, 6.5, and 6.6. Those learning activities really focus on what you'll be reading in the Chapuis and Stiggins text and help you think about how you can apply that material to short written responses, to extended written responses, and then to the assessment for learning strategies around extended written responses. The discussion board for this week will focus around concept mapping and visual literacy. I hope that you will take time to really delve into the learning activities and into the application of this week's materials, as it's one of those foundational kind of competencies when we're thinking about classroom assessment. So the idea of the frequency that we use short written response and extended written response in our classrooms is quite astounding when you look at our practices. So it's really important that you feel very grounded and you start to feel very capable in terms of being able to use this methodology or this approach effectively. I hope that you have a great time learning and extending your learning during Module 4. Enjoy.